Well, welcome back to the Drive channel, and today I'll be replacing the coilovers on the Ferrari 355 behind me. So due to a technological snafu where I lost the first introduction that I did, actually the work has been done already, but the advantage of that is I can show you a few things. So at the top of the shock absorbers, you have these little actuators here. Now these actuators were on all of the Ferraris of the 1990s, so the 458, the 550 Maranello, and the 355. They were not on the F50 because that had a completely different push rod suspension and was a very, very different thing. But anyway, these are very valuable. And as I had mentioned in a previous video, my the light for the sport button, which stiffens the shock absorbers and uses these actuators here, was intermittent. And the reason is, you can't see it, but inside here there's a little gear. And 3 out of 4 of these are okay, but this one that I'm holding in my hand is not okay, and that actually was broken. The actuators will actually twist this little thing on top of here. This is the shock absorber from the front of the car. This is from the right front, and there's a little cog there that the actuator plugs into, and it will just twist this around. Now this one seems to be spinning like just forever, and I'm not sure if that's actually even doing anything. So that's the suspension was very, very bouncy. So lots and lots of springing, but not a lot of damping. So that's why I decided to replace them with Hero shocks, which are an aftermarket coilover. They bolt right in. There's nothing required in terms of modification to the suspension. And so we'll see how we get on with that. But yeah, stay tuned, and I test drive the car at the end, and stick with me, and we'll find out how this all works. Okay, so here is the front shock in. The front shock's in on the other side as well. Now, it's actually pretty easy to remove the shock. I didn't realize this at first, but what you basically do is you remove this bolt here and this bolt here, and then the top A-arm just flips up and out of the way, and then this whole assembly folds forward once you remove the tie rod. Interesting that the tie rods have this little protector on it. That was true of all Ferraris in the 1990s, and the 550 Maranello, the 458. They all had that little protector. I've never seen a car have that before. But anyway, you have to remove that, take out the tie rod, or remove the tie rod from here, and this whole thing, the whole brake and everything just falls forward, and it will rest on the hoses here. So you don't have to remove any hoses. You don't have to do anything like bleeding the brakes. You just have to be a little gentle, but the hose has plenty of tensile strength to hold everything in place as long as you don't rip this thing, the wheel and everything down. So that's on there, and it mounts from inside. We have to remove this. This is actually the ECU, I think, for the air conditioning. And once in, the adjustment is down there. So you can see this is adjustable shocks. So the adjustable shocks on this side are down in there. And obviously you can't see it because it's too dark. And this is what the shocks look like when they're out of the car. So that's the rear shock. One of them is on already, but I had the lower mounts that they gave me were too short. So the company Hero, they sent me new ones that are proper length without even complaining, and they sent them right away. So I'm very happy with that. We'll just see how they handle. So let's put those on and see how it goes. Okay, so here again, here's the interior of the wheel well. I have the wheel inner wells removed, all of the inner wheel well protectors, so you can actually see quite a lot of things. But anyway, we're talking about the shock today, and this one is a little bit too short because the lower mount for the shock that they gave me was too short, so they gave me longer ones. This has to come out and then go back in. Now there's only one bolt that you really have to remove, which is this bolt over here, and it should slide out if you bend the suspension down a little bit just by hand. So that should be pretty easy, and we'll get the new one on and yeah, go from there. Okay, so the new shocks are on, and the ride height is about right. I measured it. It's probably within about 1/4 of an inch of where it was before. It's a little bit lower in the back, and it's maybe 1/8 of an inch, actually slightly higher in the front. I think that the looks are good. I think it looks pretty okay. Here's on the other side. On the other side, I think it looks okay. Yeah, it's definitely not lowered. I did not want to lower the car. I'm not looking to turn this into some kind of a track monster or a SEMA show car. Now, if we look in the back, this is actually what the shocks look like from the top. So the good thing about the 355 is that the top of the shock absorbers are pretty easy to get to. So I have these currently adjusted at full comfort for the rear shocks. So that is the softest amount of damping. And then for the front, I have one twist off of full comfort. So in other words, comfort and then one twist towards a firmer setting. So let's find out what it's like when we get out on the road. Okay. All right, so here we go, test driving the car with the new shock absorbers, and right away I could feel the steering is a little bit light. So that tells me that my alignment is a little bit off. But I'm going to go down this road which has a fair amount of bumps on it. So I think that's going to be the ultimate test. I'm not going to be doing extreme speeds, but so far it seems pretty compliant. Yeah. This is a very bumpy road I'm on right now. Oh yeah, that's much better. Yeah, before you got a lot of bouncing from the back. This right here is especially bad. Yeah, that's much better. Much better than it was. Car's still not warmed up, but yeah, I definitely knocked the alignment a little bit out, which was expected. So it'll be that'll be another project for another day, getting this alignment proper. But yeah, I'm actually very happy with the way this is at the moment. Well, if you like this sort of content, like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.